Welcome back to Starloopnews. Today, we're peeling back the layers on one of rock music's most tortured geniuses, Pete Townshend. He wasn't just a songwriter, he was a man who carved raw pain into melody, transforming personal torment into timeless anthems. As the mastermind behind The Who, the architect of Tommy, and the wounded soul behind Blue Eyes, Townshend didn't just redefine rock. He redefined vulnerability in a genre known for bravado, but beyond the iconic windmill, guitar swings and stadium-shaking performances was a man in constant battle with himself. Haunted by a painful childhood, struggling with addiction, depression, and later rocked by scandal, Pete Townshend's life story is one of rock's most complex, compelling, and misunderstood journeys. Born in 1945 in West London, Pete grew up surrounded by music. His father Cliff played saxophone in a dance band, and his mother Betty was a singer. But that harmony didn't extend to the home. At just a few years old, Pete was sent away to live with his grandmother, a woman he later described as violent and unstable. That period was marked by neglect, fear, and emotional abandonment. It's no surprise that many of The Who's early songs, like I'm a Boy and The Kids Are Alright, wrestled with themes of identity, isolation, and the desperate need to belong. For Townshend, music wasn't just an escape, it was a lifeline. By the early 60s, he found his outlet with The Who, a band that would go on to symbolize youthful rebellion. Their performances were chaotic, guitars were smashed, amps exploded, and Pete was always at the center, spinning his arm like a windmill and channeling something deeper than just showmanship. While the band rose to fame, Pete remained tormented. Unlike many rock stars, he didn't crave fame. In fact, it made him uncomfortable. His drive came from a darker place, a relentless whisper that he wasn't enough. Then came 1969, and with it, Tommy, a groundbreaking rock opera about a traumatized, deaf, blind, and mute boy who finds salvation through music. It was Pete's masterpiece, mirroring his own inner turmoil and proving that pain could become powerful art. But even as The Who soared, Townshend was falling apart behind the scenes. While Keith Moon was the wild man and Roger Daltrey played the confident frontman, Pete carried the emotional and creative burden of the band. The pressure led him into alcoholism, cocaine abuse, and a deep, paralyzing depression. He once admitted spending days in silence, feeling completely disconnected from the world. Despite this darkness, Pete pushed forward. Quadrophenia, released. In 1973 was another stroke of genius, a raw, personal look at youth identity and inner conflict. But by 1978, tragedy struck. Keith Moon died of an overdose, and with him, the chaotic heart of The Who vanished. Townshend was devastated. Overwhelmed by grief and guilt, he spiraled deeper into addiction and began questioning everything. His art, his purpose, even his will to live. The 1980s were marked by failed rehab stints and a shaky attempt at a solo career. Even as The Who continued in various forms, Townshend was a man drifting, haunted by the past. And then, in 2003, the darkest chapter unfolded. Pete was arrested during a child pornography investigation. Though he was never charged with possession, he admitted to accessing a site as part of what he described as research into online abuse, something he had long spoken out against. He later revealed he suspected he had been abused as a child and was trying to uncover the truth of his own trauma. The media pounced, and the backlash was brutal. Townshend went from rock icon to tabloid target overnight. Some fans turned away, but others, those who truly understood him, saw a man wrestling with unimaginable demons. In the years since, Pete has worked to rebuild his legacy not with nostalgia, but with truth. In his 2012 memoir, Who I Am, he opened up about his trauma, mistakes, regrets, and the relentless pressure of fame. He spoke with honesty and humility, qualities not often associated with rock gods. And while he could have walked away from it, he didn't. Alongside Roger Daltrey, he continued performing as The Who, pouring a lifetime of emotion into every note. Songs like Love Reign O'er Me and Behind Blue Eyes now carry a deeper weight, not just for fans, but for Pete himself. Pete Townshend isn't your typical rock hero. He's awkward, cerebral, and often brutally self-critical. But maybe that's exactly why he matters. He reminds us that greatness often comes wrapped in pain, that the loudest voices sometimes hide the most fragile hearts. His music was never just about rebellion. It was about survival, about honesty, about facing the darkness and choosing somehow to keep creating. Now in his late 70s, Townshend is still writing, still performing, still questioning, and maybe, finally, still healing. His story isn't one of perfection, it's one of perseverance. And in a world obsessed with flawless heroes, Pete Townshend proves that truth, not perfection, is what truly inspires. So the next time you hear the first notes of Baba O'Reilly or feel the ache of Behind Blue Eyes, remember, behind those songs is a man who fought hard to stay real. He didn't just shape rock music, he gave it soul. And that is timeless. Thanks for watching StarloopNews. If you love powerful stories about the legends who shaped music, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and smash that like for more deep dives into the lives behind the legends. Until next time, keep the volume up and the truth louder.